as we look at going into the winter here, we would benefit from a targeted stimulus. What we mean here is that there are people who cannot go back to work because their profession's not safe with COVID. Um, and if we can get that more targeted approach, then we can make sure those people who really need it have it. Uh, it also will allow us to shore up some of the state coffers because there's been a lot of spending on COVID. And so we need to make sure that we don't have those states having to pull back spending massively next fall and possibly create another recession because what we have this fall is different than what we would have had going into April. Into April, we had a massive increase in unemployment, a massive shutdown of the economy across the United States. It was happening faster than it's ever happened before. And because of that, we had to get money injected into the economy really, really fast. Economists would have called that a helicopter drop. It's equivalent to a helicopter flying over and dumping money out the door. It targeted everybody and anything and tried to get money all over the place. And now we have more time. We've had more time. We've been talking about this now for months. So people have been thinking about it for about a bit of time. And so we can be a little bit more targeted in how we do this. It's the first recession where women have been more affected than men. Traditionally, women have been in service sector jobs. They've been in jobs that tend to be recession proof. And they're recession proof because they interact with people. All right. COVID hurts jobs for people who interact with people. All right. And so in this recession, we saw the unemployment rate for women jump more than men, which is very, very unusual. And it is going to be a continuing problem because the jobs that were affected were the first and maybe the second rung on the ladder that women have traditionally used to get into the job market. All right. And those rungs aren't going to come back with the same force after the recession that they have now. So particularly those transactional jobs where you're taking money from somebody or you're moving a set of paperwork along a process are going to be replaced by AI and be replaced by the fact that people today now know how to order something online. They've been doing it for months, even people who were resisted it for years, and people have become comfortable with that. So we don't even know whether they'll go back to the corner store the way they did before because they now have figured out how to get things at home. So for women, this recession was the first time they were affected more than men. And they're also going to be affected longer on the tail because the types of jobs they've traditionally used to get into the job market have gone away. Now, for African Americans are often hurt during recessions. So this isn't a case where they're being hurt more than they traditionally have. But they also tend to be in jobs that are front-facing. And so therefore, they were affected much more deeply in this recession than other ethnic groups and other racial groups. And that's going to, that has certainly social justice effects and certainly has implications as we go forward as to how we need to handle some of these things.